Hey,
What's up, brother? How are you been?
I've been trying to build my coaching practice.
Nice. How's it
How's
coming
life?
along?
I thought it would be easier, but I definitely have to put in a lot of work.
Yeah. I mean, it's always work. Everything in life that's valuable and worth it is work. That's for sure.
So, I don't know if you ever saw my LinkedIn profile, but I want to put it in for you. That way you could get to know me. I don't, do you use LinkedIn?
I do.
Mm, nice.
Tell me about it.
How- So, right here, I'm going to put it on the Zoom messages.
Okay.
Do you need me to put a shirt? I'm just very hot.
No, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to do anything you don't want to, bro.
Oh, okay. So, if you look at my LinkedIn page,
Okay. Tell me.
uh, go through the certification and go down, scroll down, go through the certification and licenses.
Hmm. Why don't you tell me about it instead of me having to look about it?
No, that way you get to know,
Yeah, but
that.
that's what I'm saying. I would love for you to tell me instead of me
Oh,
needing to
so
read.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That way you could see like what certifications I have.
Well, why don't you tell me what certifications do you have?
So I did Tony Robbins work. I
Yeah,
did the Madonna's training. I did
yeah,
the right foundation.
yeah,
I did I did Landmark. You ever heard of Landmark?
yep.
Dale Carnegie.
Beautiful.
Uh, and I did different programs. And I want to be a peak performance coach for athletes.
Amazing. Amazing. What do
And
you need? Renat, how's it going, by the way, brother? Welcome, bro. It's good to see
oh,
you.
Renat, hi. Sorry,
Morning,
I didn't
morning.
know that.
I'm good. How are you?
Amazing.
Hi, Renat. Hi, Renat. I'm sorry, we didn't see you.
No worries, no worries. All good. Keep going.
Uh, so Abraham's just sharing a little bit about his experience of how to start a coaching business. He's
Nice.
been working on putting it together because he has a lot of certifications. So tell me, brother, about all your. So what do you feel that what certainty do these certifications give to you, so that we can continue to get you to continue to shine out bright?
Oh, you just called on my bullshit. I love you, man. You do it very nicely. I love it. You do it so sweet. I wish my wife would do it much like you. It would be nice. It would be good.
Well, it's not really bullshit. I mean, it's interesting because we seem to need to in our minds to think that we need to have some sort of paperwork or certifications to validate ourselves, right? It's such a human inconvenient truth, when we actually inherently just show up with a lot of this wisdom when we're here, and then we get poured all these fucking traumas by society into ourselves, and then choose to believe them. And so when we start to rediscover our true nature, we're like, oh my goodness, I'm certified. And I mean, you came here certified, so this is kind of like the change in paradigm, that I believe, uh, not only, wisdom keepers or leaders or coaches must step up to, but as a result, give ourselves a little bit more permission of just like being ourselves and saying, hey, this is what I love to do. I'm fucking good at it. I love people, and I'm just gonna do it. You know what I mean? So it's not bullshit. I know that it's a human experience that the mind is trying to tell you that you need to have, and you did it, by the way, which is great, right? So that's not to take away from it, but it's already. I just would love to encourage you to realize that kind of those certifications or everything that you've already had within yourself, you know?
Yeah, I thought in life you need a certification to do something.
Yeah. We all did. Me too.
It's it's called the Matrix.
Yeah.
So, look, I want to be really, really honest here. I'm struggling making money,
Mm.
and my wife is kind of pissed off, and I'm kind of like sick and tired of doing things that I don't want to do, and I really want to do something more things that I want to do.
Do
But
you, what are those
if
that you want to do?
I want to do, I want to do coaching.
So, can I share with you? So, it was interesting. So, a friend of mine that from the Platt group, I recently reconnected with her since the first time we were at Date with Destiny, and somebody that I really admire, and like she's gorgeous and inside and out and all these things. And she's like, Eric, you're in coaching, aren't you? And I said, well, I wouldn't say that I'm really in coaching. I would say that that's part of the process, right? Like that's just like we coach each other all the time, whether you're in any kind of conversation or experience of life, like we're coaching each other all the time because everybody teaches us, right? Like so whether you're having coming on this call or you are speaking to somebody at work, I mean at the coffee shop or at their work, ultimately the way you listen and respond is coaching one another. Would you agree with that?
Mm, for sure. It's easy.
Hmm. So alongside coaching, what is it that you really enjoy to doing? Because coaching is probably the personal part of it that you really like to do. But what's the way or the why that you can use coaching as your tool to really help you build a vehicle towards a purpose that is really meaningful to you, other than just focusing on the money? Because the money is a
Right.
byproduct.
So, number one is human change, human development, psychology, understanding what and how they could change their mindset, their beliefs, their values, their
Right.
identities.
I love
Uh,
it. And so I get all of this. This is really important, by the way. This is probably the most important development that we all come here to discover and understand. Now, while you're helping people discover those values and identities and self, what is it that really drives the energy, or what problems are you seeing in the world that you can find a solution to?
I think focus on what people want to do. There's a lot of distractions in the world.
Okay, so let's go deeper. What do you mean? So there's a lot of distractions in the world. There's more focus. So tell me more, expand on that.
Like we all have certain amount of time we sleep, we eat, we work, and there's definitely a people have a hard time focusing in their goals, in their work, and like how to make your time worthwhile, productive, have intention,
Hmm.
and like we're talking right now.
Cool.
How
So
many people
meaning,
have yeah. How many people have these
right?
conversations, these real conversations?
So meaningful conversations towards something meaningful in their lives, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. So what is really meaningful for you?
Being real,
Okay. Anything
being
else?
honest, having integrity, knowing thyself, looking at your potential, your strength, your core values, your being, and what you could do, what talks to you,
Okay.
who you are as a person.
And what are you
What
seeing missing out there in the world? Thinking big or small, what do you see out there is missing in the world that you can apply this type of meaning to?
people are doing things that are not for them, are not
Such as,
their
such as,
their ideal self, their ideal uh, like you have people that are in jobs that they hate. You have people that are
right. So hold on a
business.
second. Let me stop you because instead of focusing on the people, what are some of the problems that are associated? Because you can't change people. Would you agree? People have to decide to change themselves, right?
Yeah.
So, what are some of the situations in society that take away from this type of meaningful approach, the one that you love in life, that you notice that people are uh, falling back into a suppressive environment or an environment where they're not really themselves?
Sorry, could you explain the question?
Yep. So you said that you like integrity, you value identity, you value real conversations, meaningful approach towards life. Where or in what industries are you seeing people apply the opposite approach in your life? I can't hear you.
Myself.
So you what tell me more. Explain that deeper.
So I a friend of mine wants to build a business and it's in the industry that I don't really want to be in. I'm doing it for money.
So what
It's
industry is it?
called business funding, working capital,
Mhm.
lending, and we basically took this place and we're making this into an office next week. And I really don't want to be in it. I'm doing it because I have a wife and I gotta provide for her. And it's a job where I could be because I live upstairs and the downstairs is gonna be an office, so it's more convenient for me. And I did something, I took it on myself, and I'm having like regret, scared, afraid. I'm going through like a roller coaster of holy shit. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, when did you decide to do this, bro? Like, how long ago? Like last week, 2 days ago? You
Yeah.
know,
A week and a half ago.
yeah. So I'd like to invite you to asking yourself. Uh, a month ago, we had a conversation where you were going to, we were going to discuss different ways of approaching a situation, whether it was in some of the things that were going to help you step into alignment. And you were going to introduce me to some people. We were going to work together, and you fell off the face of the earth.
Right. Uh,
So, so you want to step up, right? Your intention is to step up, but then when you're being held accountable to that ability to step up, you choose to go back into an old pattern, right? Because it's what's safe. So are you actually genuinely wanting to develop yourself and the people around you, or are you allowing the mind to actually take you back to an old paradigm because of the way that your conversation is happening with your wife, because of the uncertainty that you have in yourself? Or do you really believe that you actually can step into a new identity? And so if you haven't done it for yourself, how can you actually serve somebody else?
Wow.
It's easy to point at everyone else and say, hey, I can help all these people, but what you're seeing in them is actually inside of you. And I get it, bro. It's hard. It's easy to apply it to everyone else. It's hard to take it in. And I'm with you, brother. I get that. I know that there's a lot of pain and suffering that can create from that space. And we had great conversations multiple months ago where I was totally about how we can figure things out, and you fell off the face of the earth, right?
Right.
So this is also your responsibility, bro,
Mm.
because you're not showing up in this area where I'm going to hold you to that standard, and you're like, fuck, I'm gonna go take an easier route.
Right. I copped out.
Right. Multiple times, by the way, not just once. So the question is are you willing to step up to something that is really difficult to actually then, because when you step into that identity, it's easier for you to do that for others. But if you don't do it yourself, how can you actually do it for anyone else? You can't. I'm still here, by the way, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm still here. I still love you. I still appreciate you. I'm still serving you, right? Like that's all there, right? There's no judgment here. It's about holding yourself accountable.
Right. So let's dig deep in this. So the lady that the the I didn't have I have a hard time communicating what's going on with I was supposed to share with you this lady. Her name is Darla, and I didn't have a I didn't have I have a hard time even with my spouse and people to keep them up with the loop.
Okay,
I don't know
so
why.
hold on. I don't want you to go into defense mechanism right now and focusing on all of that stuff now. I just want you to recognize the importance of making a decision and then following through, because like I don't need the story of what and how, like, although I appreciate it, that's not the important part. Like I'm not upset with you. Like I that's not the point. I'm saying, hey, bro, you want to make a change, you got to make the change for yourself first. You had the opportunities, one, two, three, maybe I mean two times, sorry, and and you chose last week to do something else, right? And that's okay, but now you're not happy because of that decision. So you're making decisions based off of fear and scarcity versus like what feels good and what's abundant and what's real. So if you really care and you want people to be real because you're noticing them being fake, what you're seeing in them is actually because you still are not real with yourself.
Yes.
Whatever we see in anybody else or whatever we see in other, like the good or the bad, it's all mirrors, by the way, right? We're all mirrors of each other. This is why our creator is so brilliant, because we are literally learning from each other's values and integrity the way that we want to be. And so why do so many of us resonate with Tony's energy? Why? Because he's at a high level of integrity. He makes shit happen, and his word is like gold.
Wow.
Can I add something?
Please, sorry, I didn't mean to take over. My
Yeah.
apologies.
Oh, all good, all good. It's just that's exactly the thing I was thinking about. I think a couple of weeks ago about coaching, and I mean, I was always thinking previously that to be a coach, you gotta be, like very good yourself. You gotta be, successful, have achieved something, whatever. Or some people think like you gotta have your certifications or something. But then I came across this simple truth, which is like if you're 10% better than someone, then you can already start coaching them because you have been in the process and you have achieved something already, and you can identify with the pain and struggle. So I have made myself like a threshold, let's say. If you're 10% better, or if you're like 45 days before someone on the same journey, then you can already help someone, lift them up. And by doing so, in fact, you might be even helping yourself better because, like you said, what you see in them is what you have struggled with personally. And it's always like, read about something, you learn somewhat. Like, start doing it, you learn it better. Start teaching it, and this is where you start mastering it. So he has this innate feeling to help others, I think. Maybe you should tap into it and just look for people that maybe you are 10% better off, at least, and try
And
raise them up.
and it might not be in, it might be in different areas, right? Like it doesn't need to be all in the same
Yeah.
areas. Like it could be, they could be better at you in something else and you could be better at them in something else. Like it sounds to me like you're really strong in the finance industry and you know how to raise capital and things like this. Maybe applying that to a project that could be really meaningful, and then coaching around a project that actually sounds like something that you're inspired about. It might be a way that you get to coach the proper conversations to come to life so that the right people meet together in alignment.
Mm. Like being a connector.
Well, I mean, connecting, we're all connected. To be honest, I believe we're all connectors, right? We're all connecting the dots all the time. The thing is about paying attention to the frequency because you have a high level of integrity and you have a high level of wanting to serve. You'll be able to tap out the people that are out of alignment to bring the right people to the table.
Mm. Yeah.
So, maybe it's about having the right project partners. Maybe it's about being involved with the right, frequency. Maybe it's about, getting curious about what other projects are there, that are doing a bigger impact on the globe that are in alignment to your integrity. And then as a result, you'll start serving alongside that community or that people, and you shine together.
Cool. I wanted something like a base and then do something once I have a base foundation. I didn't want to burn my boats.
Interesting. Sometimes, sometimes you might need to burn the boats to have that commitment. So, is there like a conflicting belief or something?
Mm.
I mean, I'm curious. If you're saying you want people to be real, like, are you being real with yourself?
Mm. I don't think it's a problem. I think you can have multiple businesses.
100%.
I mean, I think it's about commitment. I can give you like a personal example from one of my coaching calls when, again, regarding a different type of business, I had this conviction that it's going to work. And then obviously, like in conversation with another stakeholder, I have this commitment. And then the coach said, look, yes, I understand your commitment, but you got to make sure that when you speak with that commitment, you make sure that you can follow through. So yes, you might keep something as a safe option, but what if it doesn't? What if not? So you gotta have commitment and to make sure that you can follow through to cover all the bases.
Mm.
So when you commit to one project, one business fully, what if the other one doesn't work out? So you gotta take that into account. And then the commitment is real commitment.
Yeah. You need to do a lot of praying.
And I always think that doing one thing at a time when you're starting off, especially like, is really uh, important
Crucial.
unless, well, and here, there's a caveat here, by the way, okay? So, and the caveat is this, that if you have enough of the connections where you're able to move a lot of energy and delegate it through other people, then you could probably do more than one. However, if you don't have enough partnerships or partners and human capital, then you must do one thing at a time,
Mm.
at least until that one thing kind of really starts to move. But if you do have the human capital and you do have a lot of influence over that human capital, then you could really influence a lot of different directions at the same time.
Mm. So today I woke up feeling stuck in my brain. Like I can't shift myself. Like either that route or that route. And I think the coaching is more the human capital. I don't have that.
You don't have the human capital.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you have?
Right now I have a computers and desks coming and people coming to work. And yeah.
Can you elaborate? Because I'm confused. I mean, like, you have people or in your community, what is it that you love to do? Or what do you see yourself doing with your coaching that you can apply
Oh, yeah, help people in this business.
So which business though?
I can help in the lending business bring their
Okay.
full potential.
Okay, cool. So lending, and when you do lending, what is that mean? That means you work with banks or private equity, private credit.
Right.
What is that?
So we work with banks, private equity, lenders, and different types of deal makers that like structure deals
Cool. And you structure deals how big?
from 20K to 5 million.
Have you ever done anything over 100 million?
No.
Can you figure it out?
Yes.
Amazing. And you can integrate that in a meaningful way that is done with a lot of integrity and the right people involved at the table.
Yes. One second. I'm sorry. My wife wants to come in. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I think we're missing Olga here.
Oh, you want to check upstairs?
See?
No.
No, I just want to make sure you still love me.
Oh, I love you. My wife wants love. I love you.
Give her love then. Give her love.
She thought I ran away.
So you know that she loves you then, you see?
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get that. I'm so sorry about that.
Bro, by the way, that's you should never apologize about your beloved coming to tell you that she loves you, man. That is the one of the most beautiful things. That is acknowledging that in your wife is probably something that she would really like appreciate.
Yeah.
There is nothing wrong about that. That in fact is the most important part of why we exist as men.
Mm.
Is to really acknowledge that level of curiosity from a person that is your partner for life.
Mm. Yeah.
Is
Cool.
she still around?
No, she went back upstairs.
You, you should go back there and say, I love you so much, and give her a big hug and kiss. There's nothing wrong with showing appreciation and affection. In
Oh,
fact, my brother, that's what she needs from you.
oh. I thought it's her insecurity.
No, it's totally, bro, the way that you have responded feels, from my perspective, like you are uncomfortable being cute and loving in front of other people to your wife.
Yeah.
And that's your insecurity, not hers.
Um, uh,
Because you are the one that holds the space.
mm.
And if your wife is the one that's showing admiration and love and sweetness to you, who's the one more courageous here?
She is. Wow.
How interesting things are. If you change
I
those
like
things,
I like that. So should I go? Let me go upstairs.
Yeah, go. Please.
Yeah. Okay.
You can leave the phone. You can leave the phone. We'll wait.
Okay.
He's a good man. It's amazing. I love it. Right into action. Should I go upstairs? Yes. Yes.
yes, when it's the best time, it's now.
Yeah. And how are you, my brother?
This week has been hectic.
Yeah.
amazing and hectic at the same time, but I have a lot of amazing breakthroughs. Like, and that's really where and why I see the value of coaching, ongoing coaching.
Mhm.
And I was literally explaining it to my wife because I mean, I never actually intended to get coaching in the first place. I signed up for this Ultimate Master University, and coaching came with it. So I said, well, okay. And yeah, I mean, now that I'm into it, I really see the value. Exactly like you said, that accountability and just um, I mean, I've been doing my success journaling and writing down my daily wins and whatnots, but when you actually have someone real that you explain these things to, and then that real, success stacking celebrations, that was that's really the most valuable part to me, I guess, of the whole
Mm.
coaching thing.
I love it. And I think that that's the thing is really having that reflection, right? That mirror
Yeah.
that's willing to hold you to that outstanding standard.
Yeah. And then obviously, um, when you're just kind of stuck with yourself, as much self-reflection as you can do, it's still hard to zoom out. But when you have a coach that you connect with like once a fortnight every week, and then they can really see the progress and they can track it. And then even if you're feeling down because you couldn't do something, he's like, hey man, like what are you talking about? Just 2 weeks ago you had this problem, which you crushed totally. Or like go back 2 months ago, there was nothing of sorts. And this is where like, wow, yeah, you have a backup of me from 2 weeks ago. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. It's interesting how we all have blind spots, right? It's so important to have people to, it's interesting. Like even today, I was talking to my friend, also a great mirror, very a man that I respect. He's bringing me to Portugal next at the end of the month to go, and he's doing a festival there. And I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll stay or something like this. And then I realized, hold on a second, Eric, you have a lot of responsibility here. You're working on a really big deal. You're doing a lot of things. And then a friend of mine, this woman that I was very much attracted to, invited me to go and kind of go to Greece in the summer and all these things. And I said, and my friend kind of was like, nah, I don't know if it's good for me. And then I started to reflect on myself and ask myself, wait, like I have to really focus. I have a lot of shareholders, partners, a business deal that is really reliable on my need to be very grounded right now. I can't be jumping around, the Greek islands. As much as I like this woman, it's just not the right thing to be doing at this time. And I needed to almost have that observer mind to really just say, you know, what I'm doing right now is going to set me for life. I won't need to worry about it. So how about you just forget about the the islands this summer, and really focus on what you need to do. But I didn't realize that it's not, and nobody really pointed it out to me, but it was because my friend was like thinking of himself, was saying, hey, no, like I really want to be with my wife and I really want to like, it started to make me think, you know?
Yeah,
And so it was interesting because that mirror was my blind spot that I needed for that reflection. And he didn't even point it out to me directly. It was just me. It was exactly what I needed in that spot to help me understand, okay, this is what I need. Thank you. Thank you, universe, for teaching me. Yeah. And I think that the more we become extremely self-aware, that's what I'm talking about. That eventually everybody becomes your coach. Everybody becomes the mirror because you're seeing yourself in everything.
Yep.
Right?
Yes. And this is where, like I said, when you do coaching for someone, you're doing it for someone, but sometimes the insights, the breakthroughs you get for yourself.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yesterday we had a very long and deep conversation with my wife, and she was asking about when two people miles apart, maybe on different continents, think about each other. Is there this type of connection or some kind of, I don't know, and this is why I explained to her about the quantum entanglement. I said, look, when two particles, they get entangled, doesn't matter if they're like light years apart, you can still see the state of the other when you observe one of them. And yeah, I mean, I truly believe that there is connection between people, no matter the distance.
100%. There's no question.
Maybe she's now thinking about me because I'm thinking about her.
I'm curious, have you had the chance to talk with the Meijing and the youth?
No, man. I
No?
remember about it, but I was actually writing notes down when you said we should do one thing at a time, because at the moment I'm trying to do so many things at the same time, and I think it's might not be the best thing.
Yeah. That's good. You keep at least keeping that focus, which is really nice.
But I'm just that was one of my breakthroughs actually for the past week. I really just sat down and drew up a mind map of my uh, life and outcomes that I want in life,
Mhm.
just to make sure that I have this visual representation of what is it that I'm working towards. So then when things come up, I can say, okay, this one relates to this one, but this one doesn't. So should I really be spending time on? Hopefully get some focus and clarity, like Abraham's saying, instead of being spread all over the place.
Mhm. Yeah, focus and clarity.
Eric, you have like
Yes.
the best focus and clarity when you talk to someone. How do you do that?
I've spent a lot of time alone, my brother. I've learned to listen to our great teacher, creator, God, whatever you want to call, because I've spent so much time alone with that energy in the jungle, by the ocean, in very dangerous places. And I totally surrendered to it, to that energy. Not fearing death is a beautiful thing. When you stop fearing death, you start to live life. And so that ability to focus, an ability to be clear, comes through you.
So I struggle with ADD, ADHD.
Hmm.
I don't know if you noticed that. And so how would you tell someone that has ADD, ADHD to be in that realm
I
of
would ask
focus?
that I would ask that person who told you you have ADHD.
My wife always says, "You have ADHD."
So is that something that has been projected onto you and you believe that?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So what have you told yourself? So do you often first of all, do you often believe what other people tell you versus believing what
No.
yourself?
No.
Mm. So maybe it's time you started trusting yourself and knowing yourself. Because when you know
Uh,
yourself, you will trust yourself, and then you'll be able to come from a place of internal behavior versus an external person or a limited person or some sort of external societal construct to dictate your behavior. Remember, you can go into any environment, but it's not the environment that changes your circumstance, it's you.
That's interesting, actually. I remember that with Destiny, Tony said that he doesn't believe in this whole ADHD thing, but he never expanded on it. So that question still stuck in my mind. Like, what does it really mean? I mean, I understand ADHD is like you can call it a personality trait, doesn't necessarily have to be a disorder or something.
In fact, I would encourage us all to think of the words dis-ease or disorder. These are created by a construct of the mind based off of an inability to get curious about another human being. So instead, what they do is they define a construct that has been diagnosed by a limitation versus the curiosity of knowing that there's another human being with unlimited potential sitting in front of them and getting curious about their map of the world. And so when Tony talks about ADHD and calling it bullshit, it's because it is. It's because it's created by the mind. If we can tap into our inherent knowing or our inherent being or our ability to tap into our heart's desires, we'll start to listen to the infinite nature of our heart's intention. And our heart's wisdom has no limitation, it's infinite.
Well, I mean,
wow.
might be a construct, but the struggle is real now with the time perception and everything.
Right. So, well, what if when you look at the sky and when you breathe in, what do you feel?
I wish I did that more often.
Hmm. Maybe now there's a moment of presence where you can find clarity and focus when you stand outside and you just look to the sky and take in a deep breath and hold it and just feel what that feels like. Because it's the feeling that's the real communication.
In that sense, I think meditation does help a lot, but I always struggle to make time for it.
Meditation, breath work, any movement to get your body moving. This will keep you in focus. And the more of us do hard things, the more of us uh step outside of our comfort zone and do really hard shit in the world, the more of us become very grounded in our knowing. Because people can't shake us.
I was listening to Unshakable the other day. Really like the name of the book.
I just finished The Holy Grail of Investing like last week. It was a good book too.
Oh, I got it, but didn't start it yet. How is it?
Tony talks a lot about the things in that book, but I'm doing it with our projects.
Yeah. That's another interesting concept I've been thinking about. I think, and I really like why this whole Lighthouse group is called about creators. And I think in this day and age, there's a lot of people who have become not really creators, but just, I mean, this whole concept of entrepreneurship, we just like you connect this to that and then just put a percentage on it. Yeah, I think we have become this economy of subcontracting and distributing instead of actually creating stuff.
And that's why it's about coming together and having these deep conversations and finding solutions inside of those, inside that capacity. And that's what makes it creative. That's what makes it creators.
Yeah. I know actually Elon spoke about it in his the book about him by Walter Isaacson, that there's very little actual engineers, designers that do stuff in the real world. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with just the physical world stuff. I still believe you can create a lot of stuff that's not physical. But yeah, I think the whole this social media and TikToks and YouTubes have become about consuming stuff rather than creating stuff. Although it is a platform for creators, but I think if you even if you're consuming something, you gotta be you gotta have the intention of producing something in return or like integrating it into something that will eventually become a product.
That's why I like working on real shit. Real problems in life, in infrastructure, in economy, things that are going to build a better world. Focus on big results, big successes, big outcomes. And I think that that's where our ability to create actually is in thinking about the big, in thinking about the big picture. Because when we stop thinking about just ourselves, we start building something that is greater than ourselves.
Yeah.
For the people, by the people. You know, and I was there too, by the way. We all see Tony and we're like, oh, I want to stand on stage and I want to be a fucking, I want to be Tony. But most people don't realize all the work that he does behind the scenes.
Absolutely. They want the result
No.
of the work. That's what I've been thinking always, because yeah, I really I was gonna say hate, but I don't want to say hate. I feel sorry for people who start counting, oh, he's like Day to Destiny is 5 grand, there's like 7,000 people, how much money he's made. I'm like, are you serious? Is that what you is that what you're thinking about? And no consideration for the amount of work, the crazy hours that not only Tony but also the whole team, the crew, have put into the event, and the amount of value that they deliver in return. I wish more people could see it the same way. and not just look at the price tag or the surface of it, but go deep under and see what it actually is and how it works and how much it took to bring it to that level. It's not like he just woke up yesterday and decided, okay, I'm going to run this state with Destiny. It's like it's his lifetime legacy project. Not even a product, it's a project. It's a project in development, right? That's another thing that I love about it. Every time you go, it's different. Because I know a lot of coaches and whatnots. You go to the same event, it's like exactly the same every single time. I was like, why are you wasting your time? Just record it and put it out.
Yep. And that's why because Tony does this every moment, every day of every life. Like he's not a coach, he's yeah, he does coaching, but he applies it in his life, right? So, and that's what I say, that we are all coaches for each other everywhere we go and whoever we talk to. It's now, what are we applying that to? And if we want to do something great, we got to go after applying that greatness within us to something, a worthy cause, because how big or small we think is up to us. It's the same effort, by the way.
Yeah. Same time, same effort. Might as well do something great. I think that's why Tony is actually, that's why he is a great coach, the greatest of all, maybe, because he has been through all that struggle. That's why he can connect. That's why whatever he explains, there's a personal story behind it. There's a feeling, there's emotion. He's been there, he's done that.
And that's the biggest challenge, is really stepping into it fully, right? Is helping people see that when you go through struggle, it's the greatest opportunity of a lesson.
Yeah. Challenge.
Yeah.
Oh yes. I spoke to one of friends of mine and he's like, yeah, man, like this project has been a struggle. I'm like, no, man, it's not struggle, it's a challenge. And I love the challenge. Again, you change the way you look at things, all of a sudden it's not a problem, it's an opportunity.
It's a way to see things, making them clear, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, after my first UPW, my WhatsApp status for a very long time was life is struggle. And that's what my belief was. My BS belief was that life is struggle. And that's what the first thing I changed after the UPW. No, man, life is not a struggle.
Yeah. It's a joy. It's a journey, and it's a fun journey. We just have to see it all that way. And we get to, by the way. We don't even have to see it. We get to see it.
Yes.
So I'm really excited, and I think that, this is a continuous journey, but let's continue on this journey. And Abraham?
Yeah, we were talking about the $10 million, $100 million
Yes.
deals.
Yes.
I want to hear that.
What do you want to know?
We have a 50 million.
I don't know. I cut you off. $100 million deal, and I could learn to make $100 million deal.
Yeah. So what do you know about building the structures, and can we start to? I'm working on a deal in the energy sector.
I have people that will buy that. that have the
will
money.
will with very serious and influential responsibilities, and I am the capital partner. So that means that I am in charge of the capital, and so it's from my level of integrity, and I have people around me. We have a lot of managing partners, engineering, procurement, and we're working with a public oil and gas company here in Alberta. One of the three projects that we're starting on, and the first one is $150 million installation. So if this is something that I can bring you and we can talk about, I need absolute focus from you and a level of absolute outstanding standard with serious integrity and alignment. So we can have a conversation to see what you're able to present me with in terms of. Go ahead.
Performance, what I could do, and what I could actually do.
Yeah, and how you can hold those standards. Because as you can imagine, I hold a room in a very like integral way. I want people to show up at their best, right? Especially when we're talking about like a big deal, you know, that's on the table and we are wanting to integrate for responsible roles. So it's about really bringing the best out of people and helping everybody shine. So I imagine that you want to shine and you are willing to shine. So perhaps we can discuss deeper on ways to integrate. But
Yeah.
again, this is your opportunity to step up. Let's see if you do it.
Yeah, I can't be a schmuck and run away.
Cool.
Thank you so much for your time. I know it's
At least you're
your
being
time is
open about it. I
valuable,
like it.
and
Say again, Renat.
At least you're being open about it. I like it.
Well, do you guys care if I like take a screenshot and put it on LinkedIn and say,
No.
"Hey, I love you guys"?
No, I don't care.
You
Go
can
ahead.
rewatch it on
Yeah.
YouTube even, man.
Share it in the group. Fuck, you know, share it in the group. More
Yeah,
people need to jump on these calls. More people need to you know, get involved because I think people are scared because they're like, oh, I don't know. So if you guys share in the groups, you know, what you're feeling, it helps people feel like safe that they can come because I think so many people get scared because they think that they're gonna get sold something or some bullshit,
yeah.
you
I
know.
I tried
So
bringing people here. They're like, "What's he selling?" I got screwed so many times.
by me,
It's gonna take all my money. No, no, not you. Other people.
I was gonna say, what the fuck? Like, they better not be saying it. I've never fucking like
Crazy. I tried bringing people out. Eric, I'm telling you, it's just like everyone's like saying, "Yo, is what does he want from you? Like, tell me, like, what's his interest? How much money you're paying him? What do you?"
you see,
Crazy.
it's so fascinating because most people they go to Tony Robbins and they listen to the principles, and then when they see somebody else applying those principles into their lives, they're like, he's a fraud, or he must be stealing something, or he must be doing something off. When it's just the application of what Tony is teaching all of us to do.
Yeah.
So, what can you do?
Yeah. Do you care if I write, "Hey, everybody, I had a breakthrough with Eric. Everybody should
No,
join."
brother, I think that you should write exactly what you feel, and I would love for you to be as honest as possible so that people can feel your heart and spirit when you share it.
Okay. Fine.
I love you, brothers, and it was amazing to see you, Abraham. Let's send me a message when you have time to connect. Rinat, it's always a pleasure, and I can't wait to see you next week, boys.
Thank you. It was amazing. See you next time.
Have a good day, guys.
Bye bye.